Okay, so get this. Get ready to have your mind blown because today we're diving into the world of AI that can not only imagine, but explore too.
And even potentially help us humans make better decisions.
I am already so intrigued.
Yeah, we're talking about an AI that can actually build entire virtual worlds
Whoa.
from a single image
Huh.
and just a teeny tiny little text prompt.
That's wild.
Then send an AI agent to explore and learn within that world.
Okay, I am officially hooked.
It's called GenEx,
Jenna.
short for Generating an Explorable World.
Okay.
And the research paper literally just dropped this week.
Oh, wow. Hot off the press.
Yeah, like super cutting edge.
So, okay, why is this such a big deal? I mean, what's so important about an AI that can, I guess, daydream in a way?
Well, just think about it this way.
Right.
Imagine you're trying to solve a problem. Like maybe you're designing a brand new building.
Okay.
Or maybe you're planning like a rescue mission.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be super helpful to have a tool that could actually help you visualize all these different scenarios and maybe even anticipate potential challenges?
I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
It's like having a virtual testing ground for ideas
Exactly.
where you can experiment without, like, real-world consequences.
Exactly.
I like that.
And that's just one of the many possibilities that GenEx is opening up.
Whoa.
I mean, it could change how we approach everything from urban planning to disaster response, even video game design or virtual reality experiences.
Okay, now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
So let's unpack this a little bit, how GenX actually works.
Okay, let's do it.
From what I'm gathering, there are two main components, right?
Okay.
The imaginative world and the embodied agent.
You got it. You're exactly right.
Okay.
So the imaginative world, that's the AI that actually builds that virtual environment.
Uh-huh.
And the embodied agent,
Okay.
that's the AI that gets to explore it.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, so think of it as like one brain dreaming up these amazing places and then another brain getting to experience them firsthand.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
But how does the imaginative world actually create an entire world from just one single image?
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing.
I know it sounds like magic, but it's not magic.
Okay.
It's a type of AI called a diffusion model,
Okay.
which is trained on a massive, massive data set of 3D environments.
Got it. So it's learned from all those environments how to generate like a realistic one
Yeah, exactly.
based on all that data.
It's kind of like those AIs that can generate an image from just a text prompt.
Yeah.
But this time it's for a whole world.
Wow, okay.
They actually started with an AI that could create panoramas from a text prompt,
Okay.
and they modified it to take in an image as well.
Interesting.
So you give it a picture
Yeah.
and a short description,
Whoa.
like maybe a futuristic cityscape,
Whoa.
and boom, it generates this full 360-degree panoramic view.
So you're not just looking at a picture in your computer, you're like immersed.
Right, you're surrounded.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But then how do you actually like move around and explore? Do you need a video game controller or something?
Well, that's where that embodied agent comes in.
Okay.
Remember that virtual explorer?
Yeah.
It can actually move around in the AI-generated world and make decisions based on what it sees.
So it's not just passively watching, it's making decisions.
It's interacting, yeah. It can
Yeah.
rotate its view,
Yeah.
move forward, even interact with objects in the environment.
Okay.
And every time it takes an action, the imaginative world generates a whole new set of panoramic frames.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
So it's like constantly being generated as the agent is exploring.
that's exactly it.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's not pre-rendered like you'd find in a traditional video game.
Totally.
It's dynamic. It's constantly evolving.
So then how does it prevent the world from like glitching out? Like showing seams or weird distortions?
That is a really great question, and it was a big technical challenge for the researchers.
I bet.
They use a super clever technique.
What is it?
It's called spherical consistency learning.
Okay, break that down for me.
Basically, they train the model to understand that the edges of that panoramic image are all connected.
Okay.
So they form a sphere.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you took a flat image and wrapped it around a globe.
I'm picturing it, yeah.
Yeah, so no matter where the agent is looking, everything stays smooth and consistent.
It's like when they make video games and you don't see the seams between the different worlds, it all flows together.
Exactly.
I get it.
And that's crucial for making the agent's experience truly immersive and
Okay.
realistic.
Okay, so we've got this world built.
We do?
We've got this agent that can move around.
We do.
But what can the agent actually do in this world?
Well, there's actually 3 main ways the agent can interact with the environment.
Okay, yeah.
Interactive exploration, GPT-assisted free exploration, and goal-driven navigation.
Okay, 3 different modes.
3 different modes of exploration.
I like it.
Yeah.
Let's go through each one.
Okay.
Starting with interactive exploration. What is that?
Okay, so interactive exploration is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You're in control.
Right.
You pick the direction, you pick the distance.
Got it.
It's like steering a drone through this AI landscape.
So it's like a virtual window into this world.
Yeah.
That is cool.
And you can look around, move around however you want.
I could get lost in there for hours.
Oh, for sure.
So then what is GPT-assisted free exploration?
Okay, so that one's a little more sophisticated.
Okay.
It involves GPT-4.
So like the large language model?
Exactly, that one.
Okay.
It acts as a guide for the agent.
Interesting. So why do you need that?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
It helps make sure the agent is seeing the most interesting parts of the world, you know?
I see. Okay.
Otherwise, it could just end up in like a boring wasteland, nothing to see.
Oh, yeah, totally. I've been there in Minecraft.
Exactly.
Hours spent wandering around trying to find something cool.
That's exactly what this is preventing.
Okay.
GPT-4 helps guide the agent.
So it's like the tour guide for the AI.
Yeah, the virtual tour guide.
I like it.
Taking it to all the coolest spots.
And then last but not least, goal-driven navigation.
Yes. So this one is all about giving the agent a specific task.
Okay.
Like a specific goal to accomplish in the environment.
Yeah.
Like you might tell it, go find the blue car.
Uh-huh.
Or find the shortest path to the park.
So instead of just wandering around, it's got a job to do?
It has a purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about solving a problem or completing an objective.
So this is a way to test the AI's problem-solving skills.
You got it, exactly.
I like that.
It's not just a fun gimmick.
It's evaluating its abilities.
It's putting it through its paces, seeing what it can do.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is all so fascinating.
I know, right?
I'm starting to understand the power of GenEx.
Yeah.
But I still have one question.
Okay, what is it?
How does all of this virtual exploration connect to the real world?
That is the question, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, remember how we talked about GenEx being able to help us make better decisions?
Yes.
Well, it turns out that these virtual worlds can be so incredibly useful
Okay.
for training and testing AI systems that are eventually going to be, deployed in the real world.
Oh, so it's like a safe space to train them
It is.
before we unleash them on the world.
Exactly. Let them practice and learn in a controlled environment first.
Makes sense.
Right.
But how does that actually work? How does virtual training translate into real-world performance?
Okay, so get this. The researchers found that the AI agents that were trained using GenEx, with those virtual worlds, made consistently better decisions than those that were only trained on real-world data.
Really? So the virtual training gave them a leg up?
It did, yeah.
Is so interesting.
It seems like that key is that imagination factor we were talking about.
Right.
By being able to imagine all those scenarios, they were able to anticipate problems and make more informed decisions.
So they almost developed a sixth sense.
It's really quite incredible.
Okay, this is mind-blowing. I feel like we're just scratching the surface
We are.
of what GenEx can do.
There's so much more to discuss.
I'm ready.
But we're going to have to save it for part 2 of our deep dive.
I'm already hooked. Let's take a quick break and come right back.
Sounds good.
Okay, so welcome back. And, I'm still just trying to wrap my head around all the possibilities of this AI that can literally build worlds and then learn from them.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
It is. Before the break, we were talking about how GenEx can help AI make better decisions by letting them, practice in virtual environments first.
Right.
It's almost as if it's giving them intuition.
It is. It really is.
So it's not just memorizing rules and patterns.
Right.
It's like a deeper understanding.
It's like they're developing an understanding of how things work and how their actions can have consequences, but, all within the safety of a virtual world.
Okay, so kind of like a flight simulator for AI.
Yeah.
Getting the practice before they're actually, flying a real plane.
Exactly. A perfect analogy.
But what's really fascinating is that it actually translates into real-world performance.
Right.
You said that researchers actually found that agents trained with GenEx performed better than those who were only trained on real-world data.
Yeah, consistently.
Wow. What was it about the virtual training that gave them that edge?
Well, the researchers think it's because of that imagination factor that we keep talking about. By exploring all those different scenarios in the virtual world, they get a much more well-rounded understanding of the problem. They're not just reacting to what's right in front of them. They're actually thinking ahead, anticipating potential challenges, and actually planning their actions accordingly.
So they're learning from their mistakes. in that virtual world so they perform better in the real world.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
Well, yeah, and I mean, this has just massive implications for developing all sorts of AI, everything from self-driving cars to robots that can, like, adapt to environment.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier, multi-agent imagination.
Oh, yeah.
You hinted that things get really interesting when you have multiple AI agents interacting in these virtual worlds.
It gets pretty mind-blowing.
Okay, break it down for me.
So imagine you have, like, a whole team of AI agents,
Sure.
each with their own little GenEx-powered imagination.
Okay, yeah.
They're all working together on a problem,
Yeah.
and they're not just sharing information about what they're seeing, they're sharing, like, their imagined perspectives and potential actions.
This is like a brainstorming session.
It is, yeah, like a brainstorming session with AI agents.
But they can actually visualize and test it out?
Exactly, which means they can explore way more possibilities
Right.
and come up with solutions that a single agent just wouldn't have been able to.
So give me an example.
Okay, sure.
How would this play out in the real world?
So imagine you have a team of search and rescue robots
Right.
that are using GenEx to, like, navigate a collapsed building.
Okay, yeah.
Each robot can explore different parts of the building.
Mm-hmm.
They can, assess damage and identify hazards using their little imaginations.
Got it.
But the key here,
What's that?
they're not working alone. They're constantly communicating,
Okay, yeah.
sharing their imagined perspectives,
Uh.
updating their understanding of the situation as a whole.
So like if one robot imagines a route through the rubble,
Yeah.
it can share that with the others.
Yeah.
And they can use their imagination to see if it's actually possible.
Exactly.
Or if it's safe.
Yeah. And, that collaborative imagination, that's super valuable.
I can see that.
I mean, disaster response,
Yeah.
urban planning, military operations,
Wow. Lots of applications.
tons.
Okay. I'm seeing the potential here.
Yeah.
It's like AI has this whole other level of understanding and coordination.
Right. And that's something that's been really hard to achieve.
Totally.
But the researchers think this multi-agent imagination is the key to AI actually being able to collaborate with humans.
So instead of replacing us,
Right.
AI can work with us.
Exactly. It's like a tool to enhance what we can do.
I like that.
Yeah, GenEx is a perfect example of how AI can be used to boost our own creativity, problem solving, understanding the world around us.
This is all super fascinating, but I do have one question I have to ask.
Okay, go for it.
What about, the ethics of giving AI this much power?
That's a really good point.
I mean, we're talking about AI that can imagine and plan.
Right.
What if something goes wrong?
Well, any new technology,
Yeah.
whether it's AI or something else, has the potential to be used for good or for bad.
That's true.
The key is developing it responsibly,
Okay.
making sure we understand the impact it could have,
So like setting guidelines
Ex-
and frameworks.
and making sure there's always a human in the loop, overseeing things.
I'm glad that researchers are thinking about that.
They are.
Because this technology can be so transformative.
It really could.
Okay, so much to think about.
I know, it's a lot to unpack.
So much.
But we are running out of time for this segment.
Okay.
We'll have to continue our deep dive in the next part.
More on GenEx after the break.
Can't wait.
All right. Welcome back to our deep dives into GenEx. This AI that's really pushing the boundaries of what we thought possible.
We've covered a lot of ground already, talking about how GenEx can help AI agents make better decisions, practice in these virtual worlds, and even how multiple AI agents can actually collaborate.
Right, like sharing perspectives.
Exactly, working together to solve problems.
And it's just amazing to think how this could change so many things.
Oh, absolutely.
Self-driving cars, disaster response.
So many possibilities.
But there's one finding in the research that really just blew my mind, and I want to get your take on it. Okay, lay it on me.
So the research showed that GenEx can actually help humans make better decisions too.
Yeah, that's the really fascinating part, isn't it?
It is. So you're saying this AI that was designed to give AI imagination can actually boost our own human problem solving.
It can. It's wild.
I'm trying to picture, is it like having a 3D model that you can move around and look at from different angles?
That's part of it, but it's more than that.
Okay.
It's not just about seeing the problem, it's interacting with it.
Okay.
You can explore possibilities, virtually test out solutions before you have to commit in the real world.
So it's like a consequence-free sandbox. That's
Exactly.
a great way to put it.
And that what if thinking, that's so crucial for decision making.
It is, you're right.
You can move beyond those initial assumptions and see a much wider range of options.
Okay, that makes sense. But how does it work? How does interacting with this world make us more creative?
Well, the researchers think it has something to do with how GenEx engages our spatial reasoning, and our problem-solving skills.
Okay.
When we're moving around in that virtual environment, seeing the problem from all these different angles, it actually activates different parts of our brains.
So it's like the difference between reading about a place and actually going there.
Exactly. And the more immersive it is, the more of an impact it has on our thinking.
Okay, now I'm starting to see the possibilities.
Right.
Imagine architects using this to design buildings or city planners using it to see how traffic flows,
Absolutely.
or engineers testing bridge designs.
It's not just technical fields either.
Oh, right. Like what else?
I mean, doctors could use it to plan surgeries, therapists could use it for exposure therapy,
Wow.
even teachers could bring history to life for their students.
That is incredible. It's like it gives us a whole new way to think and learn.
It really does. It's about expanding our understanding of the world and our own abilities.
So now I have to ask, what are the long-term implications of this? How will GenX change how humans and AI interact?
That's the big question, isn't it? It's hard to say for sure, but I think GenX represents a pretty fundamental shift in how we think about AI.
In what way?
It's not just about mimicking human intelligence anymore. It's
Right.
about actually enhancing it, helping us be more creative, solve problems better.
Okay, so AI as a partner,
Exactly.
not a replacement.
And that's the really exciting thing about GenX. It could bring humans and AI closer together.
I like that, working together to solve the big problems.
It's a much more optimistic way to look at the future.
It is, and honestly, after learning about GenX, I feel a little more hopeful about what we can accomplish.
Me too. It's amazing to think that technology can be such a force for good,
It really can.
helping us unlock our true potential.
So there you have it, folks, our deep dive into GenX.
We've explored its capabilities, talked about all the ways it can be used, and really what it means for the future of AI.
We've seen how it can help both humans and AI make better decisions and solve some really complex problems.
And ultimately create a better future.
And who knows what other amazing things we'll discover as this technology continues to evolve.
The possibilities really are endless.
It's an exciting time to be alive.
It is. It really is.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of GenX. And we'll see you next time for another deep dive into the cutting edge of science and technology.
See you then.
Keep exploring.